Hello and welcome to the TRIRIGA training for the capital projects component. I want to let you know that TRIRIGA is an application used by the Department of Veterans Affairs to capture the execution of any given capital project. Some of the record captures of project information are contracts, project contacts, submittal packages, RFIs, daily logs, meeting minutes, inspection tasks, permits, and so much more. We'll be going through each one of these topics during different video sessions, and we'll be talking about all of those upcoming video sessions. The first one is getting started, which is you should have already attended before coming into this particular one, which is submittals. You'll see that you'll have 18 different video recordings that you'll have to look at so you can understand the system. This is just the second of many to come. So the first thing you'll want to do is remember your basics from getting started, which is logging in. We're going to log into the system. We're in our test environment, which these are all test accounts. I'll just log in. And the first thing we're going to look at is submittals, as mentioned a minute ago. You should have been provided with a training document as well. Your training documents are in a location that your FST staff should be able to provide for you. They give you step-by-step. We'll be going step-by-step through the document as well during this training. So the first thing is understanding what we're going to be doing during this session. You'll log into TRIRIGA, you'll navigate to the submittal package records, you'll navigate to view the notification records, you'll print the notification reports, you'll create a submittal package and items, and then you'll upload documents to those submittals. Within the TRIRIGA application, the information flows electronically. So when you go to your submittal packages, you'll need to identify with your SRE whether or not they've set up automatic routing or if you have to apply manual routing. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll navigate to the submittal packages. Under your home, you have all of your project data. You have submittals and RFIs. If you use the arrow, you can find your submittal packages here. Click on the word submittal packages. And it'll take you to the submittal packages menu. First and foremost though, you'll want to make sure that you're in the project. You should have learned project and company level in the getting started. Next thing we're going to do is learn how to create a submittal. There are many submittals within this particular test environment, and you'll see all of the numbering. But over here to the right, you have an Add button. With the Add button, a new window will appear, which is the submittal record. And the first thing you need to do is identify the contract that you're working against. So one project could have multiple projects. If that's the case, you'll use the spyglass to the right. It'll open up a window that'll give you a list of all the contracts you're associated with. You'll select the contract that this submittal should be associated to. Click the radio button next to the project name and click OK. If there's only one contract and you hit the spyglass, it'll automatically populate. The next thing is understanding the next few fields, which are the required fields. You have your date, the name, and then your construction class. The date you will populate to the date that you're referring to on the submittal. The system automatically populates it for today, but if you've already had conversation regarding the submittal with someone else, you can backdate it. The next thing is putting the name in the submittal package. And within the name, the VA requires that you put your construction class prefix here. So we'll do 03 space 3000 dash 01, which is the submittal number, and then you'll put the name. So here's your construction class. This is submittal number 1. We'll just go ahead and jump this up to 20 because we have lots of samples in here. And then your name. So we'll just do what the training document says, contract testing in TRIRIGA. And then the description, if you have additional information you want to type in, type the description here. This is limited to 1,000 characters. If you have a number that you want to provide as your own numbering, you can put your ID here and it'll automatically number this particular submittal to that number. Not necessarily do you want to put this here, you just want to go ahead and use it if in fact you have a numbering system. To go back to the description here, you also want to type in if the RE office needs to look at this right away. Some of the suggested topics that you put in here would be things like this: return, ASAP, or hot item. And this will identify to the SRE that this needs to be looked at right away. In the details section here, you'll want to put the required by date, and this is per your contract, how many days they have to respond. So required by, you'll hit the little calendar icon, and we'll say that you have 3 weeks to respond. Then the next thing we need to do is go to the construction class. Construction class is a required field. It's identified by a little red asterisk. And in this case, we know that it's concrete. So the 033000, if you use the spyglass, it'll give you a list of all the different construction classes. And we'll go to division 03. And this is the one that we selected, maintenance of concrete. Next thing is to go to your section, type in the paragraph of the section. This is open text, you can type in the paragraph 1.1. And the next thing is we want to go and put a discipline. It's not required, but it'll be helpful when it comes to entering and looking for specific information. So we'll say that this is structural. And from here, we want to go ahead and create draft. Once we hit create draft, the record status now shows as draft. Before there was nothing. The next thing after this is we go ahead and start adding our submittal items. Down here in the section items, you'll scroll down just a little bit. There's an add button. And the window is popping up over on the other side here, so I'll bring that over. You have your now submittal task. Give it a task name. And in this case, we want to go ahead and try to keep the naming convention that we had for the submittal, 033000-20. And then this one is the actual task name rather than the submittal name. So we'll put AEA, and then in the description, you want to add your manufacturer's information, name and address. So we'll just go ahead and put a description here, what you should be typing in. Again, this is all in the training guide as well, so you have all that information. From here, we go ahead and go to the reference section, which is down here. And what type of submittal is this? Submittal task item. We'll go ahead and put that this is instructions. Use your best judgment on that. If the submittal task item is a change to the spec section in the contract, you'll want to make note in the description that this is a deviation from the spec section. So if in fact, if it's a deviation, you want to go ahead and put it up in here as well as the manufacturer's information. In the construction class, it gets auto-populated by the original submittal, so you don't have to worry about populating that. But you do have to apply a discipline, because the discipline could be different than the discipline of the actual submittal. So the submittal has the overarching discipline, and this is subject to the submittal task. From there, you want to go ahead and put your paragraph pertaining to the section. In the next part, we've got dates. Your planned start and your actual. Your planned date is auto-populated, so you don't have to worry about populating that, but you can change it if you need to. In the planned working days section, you'll want to enter the contractual amount of days that the submittal needs to be completed. So we'll put here 30. Once you click out of the field, the system starts working on doing the calculation. And you'll see here that the calculation is to 310, which is 30 days. It's not how long it'll take you to perform the work, it's the contractual days to complete the submittal package. From there, if you have any documents pertaining to this task, you'll want to go to the Notes and Documents tab. In the Notes and Documents tab, you'll have a section called Related Documents. If you click Upload, this will allow you to go to your local hard drive or any network that you have access to, grab that document, and load them against the particular submittal. Now you can have a Dropbox open, you can drag and drop, or you can use the upload feature, select for multiple or single upload. So I'll do a single upload just to give you an idea how this works. Once I select that, it says here to select the file for upload. It gives me my hard drive. And I'll just go ahead and grab a document and hit submit. The system automatically grabs the name and puts it into the file. So now it asks me if I want the web page to close, and I do. So now you'll see that against this submittal task, I have a related document. You could do multiple there as well. And the instruction manual does give you instructions on how to drag and drop multiple. It also gives you instructions on how to use the single upload. From there, we're ready to issue this out. And you'll need to understand who this needs to go to. So what we're going to do is create draft on this submittal task. And from here, we now have the submittal task. We'll save and close. We're back to the submittal package. And you'll notice that I'm pointing to the upper left-hand corner of the pages that open up. It always tells me which particular record I'm looking at. So I'm at the submittal package here. From here, if you have more documents to add, you can go back and start adding additional items. Just like we did with this item here, add, enter the information, and then upload the document. So I just clicked on the task again so you can kind of see what's happening here. It creates an intermediate that allows you to go to the task and start making edits to that. So we'll go ahead and close this. Again, add more items as necessary. At this point, if your project or contract level routing is set up to an approver, you do not need to go to the manual notifications. However, you do need to talk to your SRE to find out how that's set up. But for training purposes, we're going to go ahead and do a manual approver, and we go to the notifications tab. Here you're going to have a manual approver section. You'll want to click add person. In this case, we have our user test27, who is the SRE. And if you know part of the person's name, you can type it in the contain section here, 27. I'll hit enter. So I've got 2 different users that have 27 in their name. Select the checkbox next to their name and click OK. From there, you'll see that test 27 is in the manual approvers. The next thing you want to do is hit issue. The issue will then put this particular submittal package in review in progress. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go back here and we're going to go find the number. And you'll notice that I put 20. So I have 2 that have 20 in the name, contract testing. It's a review in progress. And at this point, you'll just wait for the RE office to get back to you. Once the SRE has gotten back to you regarding that submittal, you'll receive an email. The email will take you to TRIRIGA, or you can log into TRIRIGA, and you'll notice here in your notifications that you've received a notification. You click on the notification regarding that submittal. You'll see here the message content, and you'll see the last review comment. This looks fine, approve as noted. To review each response of each submittal task, you'll have to go into the submittal itself. You'll see whether or not that they have resubmission or if they're still approved. To do that, you'll click here. If highlighted for reference record, you'll see that it has the name of the submittal. What that does is it opens up the submittal, and you can go through the submittal and look at each one of the records. So the review status here is still under review. If it needs resubmission, it'll tell you resubmit. At that point, you would hit revise, update the necessary information. So we'll go ahead and hit revise. Same steps here. So if it's a resubmittal, you'll click revise. Then we go to each one of the individual items. If there's a new document that needs to be uploaded, you'll go right back to the task, open up the task by clicking on one of these hyperlinks here. Opens up in another window. And you can add more content to your description, or you can go in here and change dates, whatever needs to be done. On the Notes and Documents tab, I apologize, I clicked on Notifications. On the Notes and Documents tab here, you can add more documents or remove the existing associated document and add a new one. At this point, we'll just go ahead and hit Save and Close on here. If this is a resubmission on that task, you will need to change the review status back to under review. Sorry, let me open that back up one more time. And actually, the SRE will change that status. You don't have the option to change that status, so we'll go ahead and click the X here. And then on the submittal task intermediate, which is in the upper right-hand corner, we'll close that. Once you've done all the necessary changes to that submittal package and all the items that were in question, you can then go ahead and add the additional documents, change the date of the plans to the current date to match the contractual date. In the notification tab, you've already done that. Notification on the package. Since it's a resubmittal, it wipes out all of the old approvals. So here you'll have to go back in and add the person again. because it is a resubmittal, it's starting the process all over again. And we'll go back to 27 here. Click on test 27, click OK. And once you get that person in here, you can just click the issue button and it starts the routing all over again. The process will be the same. Go back in. Once you receive that email notification via your email, you'll come back in and check the responses. From here, you can, once you get the second resubmittal, you can go here and you can print this page just by clicking on the print here. If you need to print the submittal, you click back on that submittal link. You'll go to the reports. And this will give you a formatted print preview of the submittal. Oh, it does not work in this test environment, but that's where you'll see your submittal and you'll be able to print it in production. Another thing you can do is print via this link up at the top. So you have a print link here. And this gives you a formatted page. You'll have another print button that'll connect to the printers that you have associated to your laptop. And there we go, it's all loaded. Every bit of information that's on the submittal will appear here. And one last thing is, if you ever want to look at the notifications where this stands, on the notifications tab itself, you'll see where things are routing. And right now it says review in progress. It's still pending test 27. If 27 decides to reissue it out to someone, they will apply those people and you'll see who it is still pending and if any comments have been applied. That concludes the submittal. So we'll go ahead and end the submittal. If you have any questions, you can reach out to your field support staff, and you should be provided with that email address. Thank you so much.